It's going to be something where he comes in tomorrow and they're going to have to look at him. I haven't gotten anything from the doctors at this point, but typically that's something where they need to look at him the next day and really evaluate him. And I know our doctors will be real safe with him and make sure he's okay before he can play.
Did you have a chance to talk to him when he was working off the field?
I talked to him. I didn't talk to him off the field, but I just talked to him in the locker room, and he was dancing around like everybody else, so he looked pretty good to me.
Yeah, how big was that win, especially the way it ended?
I'm just so proud of our team. To have a special season, sometimes you have to win in games like this where you don't play so well. I'm so proud of our defense. Our defense was amazing tonight, and the plays that they made in the first half, the turnovers, the Deion Henley touchdown, the Burdale Robbins touchdown, just amazing plays, and just gave us a shot in the arm. We saw a lot of crazy looks from the defense. We have a coach that used to coach here that's over there, so that made it interesting, trying to, signals and all that stuff. So it is what it is, but couldn't be prouder of the resiliency of our players. Melquan Stovall just, he sprained his ankle early in the game. He just kept fighting back and super emotional in the locker room right now. He just played his heart out and, made the big fourth down catch there at the end of the game. And, Brandon Talton, after missing some field goals earlier and having a block, comes in and just drills it right through the middle when it really counts. And that just shows his character. I mean, we have incredible character on this team. The defense, I wish you guys could have heard it on the field. The offense was struggling in the first half, and the defense just said, we got you. We got you. We're going to be fine. And I don't know that our team would have done that last year. And so just so proud of them. This showed a lot of character and a lot of class tonight. And, we talked before this game that we were in a 4-game playoff. And, we just got to win. And, we got the win tonight, and next week will be the same way.
Coach Carson's best drive was that fourth quarter drive, and I thought he might have gotten sawed in half on that one play, and then he comes back and looks great. I mean, did that fire him up? Is it that simple? Or
I've been telling you, he's a tough customer, and that's the one thing. Nobody can say that kid's not tough. I mean, the shots that he took tonight and kept coming back, and they gave us a lot of crazy looks, and and it's like that sometimes when you're a quarterback. Sometimes you throw a pick or two, and you just have to keep playing and trying to make plays to help your team win. And that's what Carson did, and the last couple of drives were some of his best work. I mean, he made a great check on the touchdown to Romeo. They were playing so much cloud coverage to Romeo, they weren't giving him a chance to go deep, and Carson finally got him at the end. And then just continuing to fire, on the fourth down and get the big completion to Melquan and put us in field goal range. That was a classic. That's classic Carson Strong. I mean, he's been outstanding in the 2-minute in his career, and his very first start he won on a 2-minute drill with Purdue, and so he's very comfortable in that situation. And boy, was that big tonight to get it when we did.
Was your team scoreboard watching tonight, watching the Boise and Fresno game?
We kind of knew the score before we went on the field, and then I just looked up, I think, right before half, and I saw the final, which really surprised me that it was that big a score. But it didn't surprise me that Boise, beat them. And it's hard, it's really hard week in and week out to get up and play at a high level every week, because everybody's playing hard. This is a good football team we played tonight, and we had a big rivalry game last week, and to be able to come back and play at a high level, sometimes you don't quite get there, and but you have to find a way to do your best and find a way to win, and we showed a lot of character tonight because that's what we did.
Defensively, Bill Best talked about earlier this week how they practiced that last play against San Jose State multiple times over and over at the end of each practice. So how vital do you think that was to tonight's success?
It was very, very important. And, this is a team we prepared for a year for these guys in a lot of different ways. But more importantly, it's just, when you have momentum changes and bad things happen, how do you respond? And you got to step up. And this team has definitely tested our will, and we responded the right way, and I'm very proud of that.
That was a physical game. I mean, and even a couple little pushing and shoving type things and all that. Was that expected? Is it this time of year?
No, that's a physical team, and they've really improved in the last 2 years. They're more physical. They have physical players, and so they challenge you that way, and they challenge your will. And we had to fight through and fight back to win the game. And I think you saw that in both lines. I think you saw that in our defense, and I think you saw that in our quarterback and our skill players that had to make tough plays. So it was a physical game. It was a tough game. They didn't win the championship by accident last year. They played very well to win it. So it was a big win for us, an important win, and to be able to win it the way we did, I think, was important for us.
How are you able to instill that next play mentality when you're dealing with adversity? How do you instill that too?
That's a good question. We talked about momentum is just attitude, and when bad things happen to you, you really just have to refocus your mind and focus on doing good things that we're capable of doing. And we have a lot of good players, and we're capable of playing at a high level. So that's where we try to keep our focus, and we don't labor on the negative. We always talk about playing the next play, and so we've that served us well tonight for sure.
Coach, I know you've gotten close with Burdale over the years and all that, and not only was that a nice pick, but that's a heck of a return. I mean,
Great return.
Does it make you glad to be a coach?
There's no doubt. That kid has been so much adversity, and I lean over to him and I whisper, I said, "You owe me a pick six this week," and he hasn't gotten me one for a while, and so he got it this week, and it was a special one, and so I'm very proud of him. He's a special kid that's overcome a lot of odds, and just so happy he's getting ready to graduate, and that's an amazing story.
We're going to be asked a lot about San Diego State this week, but is this team past messages like that? I mean, are they old enough and past?
There's certain games you just love playing, and I've come to love that game. The San Diego State game is such a measuring stick for our team and our program, because I had so much respect for Rocky and the toughness that he developed and the success that they had in our conference, and so. That's been a measuring stick for us. We wanted to play with a lot of physicality against probably the most physical defense in our league. And, we wanted to be able to stop the run. And that team has always been a strong running team. And so, yeah, it really tests you to play those guys. And, next week's game will be no different. Going down there, we're going to have to do a great job defensively, stopping the run. And, we're going to have to run the football and be effective and really start much better than we did tonight offensively. And then that game's always a big special teams game. And, Romeo's had some great returns, and that's always a difference in the game. And so it'll be a great game, and all these games will have a lot on the line now, every single one of them, and, starting next week.
Sticking with special teams, Coach, 2019, Brandon Talton ends the game. 2021, Brandon Talton.
Yeah, how about that?
Can that be scripted any better?
Boy, as long as it's scripted in the positive for us, I'll take it. And I even forgot about the 2019. Yeah, it was very similar, same spot on the field even. Brandon's been in that situation. It's kind of like Michael Jordan hitting the field goal in his freshman game to win a national championship. The rest of his career he feels like he can hit any big shot, and that's the way Talton kind of is. His first game he kicked probably the biggest field goal anybody makes in their career, and so he's got a lot of confidence in those situations, and we have a lot of confidence in him, and so we feel good if we're in that situation again that he can make it.
talk about what were you feeling in that moment hitting the game.
Honestly, just wasn't ideal how we started. Obviously, how I started off the night, but ended it in a good fashion. So it ended up working out. I've been there twice before since my freshman year, and had to go ahead field goals and things like that. So it's nothing I'm not used to, but it definitely was good to hit that one to bounce back from everything.
Can you talk about what was going through your head right before halftime? 2 timeouts called. Go back, take a moment, reassess. Just reassess yourself, get a practice kick, and go back out. What was going on with those?
I kind of just wanted to hurry up because I was ready to get kick. Obviously, like I just wanted to get out there and get it done, head in the locker room, and then start second half. But obviously, they called 2 timeouts, things like that. So I was just trying to keep my composure after I lost it a little bit and tried to like block back in and stay focused and things like that. And it happened. Just knowing, going back in the locker room, talking to all the teammates and my coaches and things like that, saying they're going to need me later on in the game and I need to refocus. And so that was really cool too, to have everyone like support me and be on my side.
It's kind of a strange game. I mean, you guys had a hard time putting points on the board. The defense was really the ones that was, for the first half at least, they were the ones that were keeping you guys ahead for the most part. I mean, can you explain, how difficult it is with a game like this, as physical as it was?
It's the only difficult part, I guess, is when we struggle on offense and our defense did put up 12 of the points that we had scored, and that doesn't typically happen in most games. So it was definitely a different environment to be around, just because we had 2 pick sixes, or a fumble recovery for a touchdown and then a pick 6. So it was definitely a different environment. But I mean, some of these guys scored points and they were able to help us out on offense, and so that really was thankful for them. So.
Jay mentioned that when the offense was struggling, he liked that the defense and everyone was trying to pick them up and all that. Have you seen that kind of everyone's got each other's back get better in your time here at Nevada?
Oh yeah, it's definitely what we have is tough love is what we call it, and people are going to be real to each other. It's nothing personal. It's just being brother to brother, telling them how it is, and you need to pick yourself up, and that's just how it is. But defense was handling it all night long. It's obvious out there on the field, but they were encouraging the offense in a good way, and it helped us pick it up in the 4th quarter and drive down there and get it done. So.
You're very poised right now, even though you walked away with the win. So tell us what you're feeling right now.
Honestly, just a little frustrated in my performance anyways, just because I've never had 3 missed field goals in a game as it is. But this whole season has been kind of up and down roller coaster for me. But I couldn't really do it without my teammates just picking me up 24/7 after I missed one, telling me that I always got the next one and things like that. So it's frustrating for me in my stats wise, I guess, but we came out with a victory, so why can't I be happy? But just need to pick up my stuff and stay more focused in the game.
So what do you do now moving forward to prepare for the Sunday?
Just know that I'm the man, and I know I can always do it, and just get it done. I've done it multiple times before, and so I'm just going to keep on doing my thing.
Sorry, I thought the backdrop was going to fall on you.
Okay.
Are you a believer that good teams find a way to win?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think we're a great team, and we've been finding a way to win all season. Came up short a couple times, but it's really nothing big. We know how to bounce back. We know how to put points on the board when it matters, and that's all that we came out victorious, so that's all that matters.
I believe that San Jose State in 2019 was the same upright and kind of similar on the field. Does that go through your mind, or is it just you're too locked into tonight?
No, well, I mean, obviously I remember these things. I hit a 40-yard field goal left hash against them my freshman year. But there was a little bit of a different situation. There was 3 seconds left on the clock, so when I hit it, the game was over. But yeah, I mean, I knew that when I went out there and after I hit it, I'd done it to them twice. So why can't I do it multiple times to everybody else? So.
Is that kind of how you mentally prepare for games? I'm just curious because I feel like your position, you have to be so mentally strong, and kind of everyone's watching you. You get one moment, it's people are trying to rattle you. Kind of like, what is your mental game, I guess, and like how do you prepare for moments like that?
When I go into certain games, I know are going to be challenges for the team as well. I know that I'm going to get field goals regardless of the situation. I've had some games where I don't get any field goals, but we've come out with a victory regardless of me getting field goals. But I know, like, coming into tonight, I knew I was going to get field goals. I knew that they were going to be important field goals to make. And so every single time I go into a game, I just know that this is going to be a big game, which most games are big games, but this one I knew that every single time I had an opportunity, I needed to execute.
What was the message at the half when you guys played?
Just keep fighting. I mean, like we did last year, we was up 21-7, I believe, and we blew it in the second half. So it was just keep fighting, stay focused, and it'll show up when we keep playing.
Was there a point where you felt like maybe the defense was going to have to do some big plays, which you did, but just it was a strange game? Did you feel like maybe it was big play time?
I mean, it was strange, but I just knew as long as we do our job, the offense was going to show up, and that's what they did at the end of the game.
How about Brandon Talton, 2019 and 2021? San Jose State must hate that guy.
Oh, they got to. He automatic. When BT comes up to kick, I'm sitting down on the bench. I know he's finna make it, so it's all good.
How do you celebrate tonight?
I was gonna go to bed. It's a little late.
A big game next week with San Diego State. Also, I'm sure you guys were scoreboard watching Boise State defeated Fresno. So when you guys see that game that you have next week, how much pressure do you feel going into that game?
I don't want to say if it's pressure, but I mean, every game is going to be a big game and on our side of the conference because any team can be beat, and we're just treating it like the playoffs. So we want to win every game and treat every game the same.
There was a while there where your defense was outscoring both offenses combined. How nice is it knowing that you guys can put up points too?
That's good. I mean, we talk about it a lot. Like as teammates, we talk about it before going out on the field and at practice. Like I said earlier in the interview with Chris Murray this past week, me and Burdell said before every game we're gonna get in the end zone. And hey, he got in the end zone, Dayon got in the end zone, and it's just gonna come to us.
You and Burdell have been around forever. I mean, you guys have come up through the system and all that. When he picks it off, and not only that, makes a nice return, how do you feel for him?
Amazing. That's my brother, so I'm happy. I'm happy anytime we anybody get a turnover and score, but Burdell, I mean, it's just special because we talk about it so much, so I just be so happy for him.